Greetings everyone, you're welcome once more to MEPH. I'm your tutor, Mr. Opoke, and if you're new to the channel, you're highly welcome. Feel free to subscribe to this channel and share the link of the channel to somebody that it's going to be of help to in physics. Alright, so today we are going to be looking at physical quantities and units, okay? Alright, physical quantities are quantities that we can find and see all around us. For instance, we can classify them into two. Okay, we have the fundamental quantities and units, or we have the derived quantities and units. So in this series, we are going to be looking at questions, okay, regarding fundamental and derived what quantities and units. But before we go through this series, I want to quickly introduce what fundamental quantity is and what derived what quantities and units are. So for fundamental quantities, they are simply what? Basic quantities, okay? Basic quantities or units that are independent of every other what? Quantity or unit, okay? Very important, the first or the three basic or most fundamental quantities you can think of in physics are, we have length, we have mass, and we have what? Time. We can simply use the first alphabets, which we have as L and T. So I can simply write them as what? Length for L, M for mass, and time for T. Please also take note that for length, it's also called what? Distance, or what? Displacement. So we can always represent distance or displacement with what? L. Okay? We still have some other fundamental what? Quantities, like we have temperature, okay? We have, we also have electric current. We have amount of what? Substance. And we have, finally, we have luminous what? Luminous intensity. All right, so what this means is, for instance, your length, your mass, your time, these things have always exist in nature. Even temperature, okay? These things are always there in nature, so they are fundamental or basic. Okay, now you need fundamental quantities to get your what? Derived what? Quantities. Now for the derived quantities, we have quantities like what? We have area, okay? We also have a volume. We also have density. We also have speed. We also have what? Velocity. So the idea is these fundamental quantities and units form the what? Derived what? Quantities. So derived quantities can be obtained, okay, by what? The combination of what? Of our fundamental what? Quantities. By the simple combination of these, we'll get this one. For instance, your area is what? Length times what? Breadth. So it is a product of what? Two different lengths. Whereas your volume is a product of length times what? Breadth times what? Height. Is a product of what? Three different what? Lengths. Now your density is what? The ratio of what? Our mass, which is this, divided by what? Volume. Already volume is what? Is derived quantity, and mass is what? Fundamental quantity. So most times when you multiply, okay, two or more fundamental quantities, you get what? A derived what? Quantity. Now our speed is what? Distance, okay, divided by what? Time. Okay, our distance is to length, okay, and we have time. So in division, the ratio of distance and time gives us speed, which is what? A derived quantity. And lastly, we have velocity. which is what? Our displacement, okay, divided by what? Time. Okay, so these are just few examples of derived what quantities. There are lots and lots of examples. All right, so without wasting much of our time, we will now go into questions on this in our next what series. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next what series. Bye.